Hello everyone. In this video, I decided to tell you a little about myself and the purpose of this channel. I have a handful of videos out now, so I guess a little more information about me wouldn't hurt. Bear with me, for my methods of explaining things may go off on some tangents. Hey, speaking of tangents, let's go off on one from the get-go. Mushrooms. Mushrooms have always fascinated me. I remember sitting with my dad when I was little and reading the mushroom book with him. He would take me out into the woods and show me the different wild mushrooms he would like to look for. Ever since then, I've been on the search to learn as much about them as I can. The older I've become, the more I realize that not only am I fascinated by mushrooms, I'm incredibly curious about the subject of mycology itself. Science has always kept my attention and brought me comfort. I've always liked how meticulous and scrupulous the scientific method is, and how scientific theories and conclusions are based on evidence. When anyone would ask me in school what I wanted to be when I grow up, I would always answer without hesitation, a scientist. I was the kid who would tear my toys apart to see how they worked. I was the kid who would sneak out my mom and dad's various household chemicals and mix them into different potions. I asked for my first microscope kit when I was 7 or 8, my first telescope when I was 10, and my first soldering iron when I was 11. In grade school, on library day, I would always make a beeline for the natural science section. I checked out a particular rock and mineral field guide more times than I can recall. I remember going out with my dad on several occasions to stare up at the night sky during meteor showers, and what I'm fairly sure was the Hale-Bopp comet. I also remember going to a couple different locations with him to hunt trilobite and other fossils. I remember one time I mixed some bleach with some hydrogen peroxide and it bubbled fairly angrily. And 1 or 2 or 7 times, when I was 10, I put some toilet bowl cleaner in an aluminum pot and heated it up for some reason. But I noticed that it too gave up some type of bubbling gas. I knew that the active ingredient in the cleaner was hydrochloric acid, so I wondered if the gas being evolved was hydrogen. I took a lighter and held it over the bubbling pot, and a 3-foot tall column of fire whooshed up towards the ceiling in our shed. Not my brightest moment, but at least my hypothesis was correct. That made me curious to figure out what other chemicals and things reacted with one another. This curiosity developed into a, for lack of a better term, obsession with figuring out how those things, and pretty much everything else around me, work. The problem with me is, my interests vary so much that I can almost never focus on one project for too long without becoming distracted. Sometimes my content will seem random, hence the name of my channel. You've probably noticed that many of my videos are about mushrooms or fungi. That's because not only is it the subject with which I'm most intimate, it's also honestly the subject that is able to hold my attention the longest. My interests aren't limited to just mushrooms and chemistry though. I also enjoy microbiology, biology, astronomy, geology, electronics, astronomy, paleontology, movies, crafts, and so many other things. Anyway, back to mushrooms. Even though I like eating them, I actually enjoy the hunt more. And as much as I enjoy the hunt, I enjoy the science even more than that. Everything about fungi fascinates me. Yeasts, mushrooms, molds, I like them all. I like the way fungi grow independent of sunlight. I like how they're more closely related to us than they are related to plants. I like how they digest their food and then eat it. I like how there are so many different types of molds and mushrooms. I like how they grow in nature, and especially on a petri dish. The word mycelium makes me happy, and I really like how we probably wouldn't be here without them. We owe a lot to fungi. They made it possible for complex life to evolve on land. They look awesome, and their lifestyle is so different from ours. They're just cool. Wait, was this another mushroom video or an about me video? Meh, I'm rolling with whatever it turns into. As you can probably tell, I'm doing this all at home, so if I refer to anything I do as being home science, I mostly mean I'm clearly not doing this in a professional lab setting. I promise I'm not trying to sound pretentious and claim to be carrying out actual scientific procedures. Believe me, I will misspeak, misquote, and make mistakes. A lot. I don't consider myself a scientist. I'm merely a guy with an unquenchable curiosity about the world around me. The things I do in my videos are just the things I do in my spare time to the best of my ability. Sometimes I will succeed, sometimes I'll fail, but I always end up having fun. I started recording the random hobbies I do for note-taking purposes, but I realized I enjoy making videos a lot too. One more thing to add to my ADD handbag of random interests, I guess. Yay! All that being said, I'm still very new at the whole content creating thing. I do feel myself becoming more familiar and comfortable with the process, though. I don't have the attention span to be an expert in anything, so I am by no means an expert on any one subject. But I will try to be as accurate as possible with the things I present, and I will own up to any mistakes I make along the way. Science should be open source and as transparent as possible, in my opinion. I guess I've bored everyone enough with my rambling. I plan on just going with the flow and seeing how things turn out with this channel. I'm hoping to get on a somewhat reliable posting schedule for the people who seem to be liking what I'm doing. The recent attention my channel has gotten has given me so much more motivation to keep trying different things. Suggestions are always welcome, as is feedback and advice. So thank you to all who are encouraging me. And thank you for watching.